Welcome to this live on Tuesday. So I just got back from the dentist, and I always have these amazing conversations with my dentist. So I have to tell you, I've known my dentist for, oh gosh, uh, probably 30 years now. I am one of those people who when you have a great dentist, you just keep them, right? So I I always have amazing conversations with Dr. Zemus. And today was really special because we really get into some spiritual conversations, and we were talking about, how do you live in this world at this point when things are just falling apart around you? And how do you stay away from all the news and the media and not fall into the trap of all the spinning that's going around? And how do you literally navigate this world? It's very different. And how do you go forward? So he asked me some really great questions. And one of them was, how, well, he, he explained that his point of view, it seems like when you get older, you lose that sense of wonderment that you have as a child. And things aren't as amazing as they are when you're a child. And I said, yeah, definitely. But then the flip side of that is, pardon me, the flip side of that is the more you become older and experience more in life, you become wiser and you actually get to see the reality of the amazing things around you. Whereas when you're a child, everything's just really cool because you're just learning, right? And you don't really know the depth of the amazement that you're looking at. But as we get older, things are even more amazing because we now understand why they're amazing. But in his view, he mentioned that it seemed like that when, what was the analogy he had? Oh, I forgot. It was so great. It seems like you have, if you have salt and pepper in, like, for example, or ice cream and sprinkles. There's more sprinkles when you're younger. And then later on, not that there's anything wrong with ice cream, later on, there just seems to be more ice cream and less sprinkles and less amazement at your life. And I just don't see it that way. If you come, you can decide how you want to see your life. This is the beauty of becoming wise and experiencing everything that life has to offer. You have more choice. So you actually can decide to choose how many sprinkles you want on your ice cream now, whereas when you're a child, you only got a certain amount because you didn't have that choice or that freedom. So the way I see it is, the older you get, the more experiences you have, the more heartbreaks you have, the more ability you have to say, I want more sprinkles on my life. And that's the beauty of it. And he also said, okay, we were talking about pain, and of course that translates into more disappointment and pain as you get older. And pain and suffering happens when you feel like you can control your life and you can control things. And the reality is, you don't really have any control over anything in your life. You only have control over yourself and how you deal with things. Okay, and then he said, okay, so you're saying life is just you're in a boat on the ocean without a paddle and you just got to kind of go with it? And it's like, no. That's that's not that's not how it is in my world. If that was the analogy, then my world, it would be the whole ocean is my bathtub and I get to swim to whatever shore I want. Whereas he's in the illusion, or in the story, that he's stuck floating around in a boat. And it's not that way. I think the more wisdom you have, the more experiences you have in life, that means you have more choice. You can choose to be happy. You can choose to be miserable. You can choose to be sad one day if you need to be sad. You can choose to, like, ignore the sadness of the day before and decide to live in a different perspective and lift and elevate yourself to feel better and joyful. So these are the kinds of conversations I have with my my dentist. I just needed to share that because I thought it was just amazing and it was perfect for today's live talk. Today I'm going to talk to you about your choice. We have September, October, November, December. It is September 1st. It's the beginning of the last quarter of this year. So you have a choice. Do you continue in heartbreak for the rest of the year and continue to just dwell in it and look at life as from the victim point of view? Why did this happen to me? Why did he leave me? Why did he treat me this way? Why am I not with a partner? Why am I so alone? You can totally do that. But you could also make the decision to maybe put those questions aside and decide to do something about all the things that you're suffering from right now. You can choose to get out of heartbreak. You can choose to get out of loneliness. You can choose to get out of fear. And you have 3 months in this year, 3 more months to do it. So let's look at how you can get out of the victim, the loneliness, the sadness, and the fear. And I want to share with you my personal methods of coping every day and how I get through each day when my world was falling apart. And really, you know, life falls apart in different ways at different times of your life. 2 years ago, my life was great until I went through menopause, and then my parents started becoming very frail and old and incapacitated. So I had this physiological change happening that was causing me anxiety, panic, trauma was coming up. You know, like my body was completely changing, it was going into the next phase of my life. And then I had elderly parents who were just becoming, becoming dependents. And I was doing all this stuff on my own, helping them with their will, tying up loose ends, uh, you know, getting rid of properties for them, and trying to manage their care within their home. And it was a really rough time. About 3 years ago it happened, it started. And it was rough because I was going through my own trauma and there was nobody to sort of offload on. I had to sit in it by myself. It was tough, and I have to tell you, it was probably it was tougher than going through my divorce. As much as the divorce was horrible and it was hell, I still felt like I had control, and I was healthy, and I was employed, and I was able to manage. This was like it didn't the rest of the stuff didn't matter. Like my body was dying. My body was saying, okay, whoop, no more hormones. This is how your energy is decreasing. And all this physiological stuff was happening on top of the stress of trying to deal with my parents. So that was a tough part of my life. So how did I cope? Whew. I knew that, when I was in trauma, and when you are in trauma, if you are in trauma now, please listen carefully to what I'm going to tell you. Everything becomes unmanageable when you're in trauma. You can't think for yourself. Your frontal lobe shuts down. You can't even feed yourself or even think to make a meal. Sometimes it's that severe. And I want you to know that there's a way out of this. You don't have to go on drugs. You do have to manage your physiology of your body and keep healthy. But more importantly, the thing that helped me through that trauma was to keep myself on a schedule. And now I know that might be really difficult right now as you're navigating this new landscape, but it is the most important thing that will anchor you and keep you grounded and keep you purposeful. Because when we're in trauma and things are up, and like our purpose and our reason for moving on, um, it becomes foggy again, right? So when you put yourself on a schedule and you have something to look forward to and something to do, and if you give yourself goals and achievements, then you're able to create a balanced sort of energy within your life, and it will help you create that balance on so many other ways for sure. But it will really help you manage the landscape that you're in right now. How did I get through that period? Well, I put myself on a schedule. So I was feeling unearthed. I was sleeping in. I was staying up late. My hormones were everywhere. So I was like not going to bed. Some days I would wake up at 4 and not be able to sleep. Sleeping was erratic. So if that's happening to you, look, get it figured out with your doctor. Okay, that's one thing that you need to absolutely address. Sleeping is essential. You can't think, you can't function if you're not sleeping healthily. So what helped me was to know that every morning at 6 a.m., 7 a.m., whatever time I decided, I would get up and without doing anything, I would exercise. So that doesn't mean I would do vigorous exercise. I would do a mindfulness practice. So for me, it was meditation, um, and and it didn't have to be long. It just had to like center me. And of course, I have beautiful meditative practices that I do with my group. Whatever works for you, you can go on YouTube and find tons of references for meditations and songs and all kinds of things that can help you center. And then I would do the exercise. So I would either stretch or I do some tai chi, or if I felt more energetic as I was getting my energy back, I would go to the park, do a couple of laps, do some stretches. It was very organic, and it wasn't rigid. I can't, for me, being on a rigidity, sort of rigid, this is what I need to do in every aspect, doesn't work for me. It might work for you, so do it. But it didn't work for me because every day I felt a little different. Some days I was more tired, some days I had energy. So I had to really feel what my body wanted. That's key. Ask your body what it wants. Don't force it to do something it doesn't want, because then you create more damage. Okay? So every day at least I did something. So if I was feeling tired, I would just stretch, tai chi, mindfulness practice, and then I'd be able to start the day with a calm mind instead of that panicked, running squirrel in my head, right? Then I would focus on eating. So before I look at any electronics, I had to take care of myself first. So making sure that you're set up for a successful day means being mindful, exercising, and having a good breakfast. Now, that means having good protein, having vegetables, having a little bit of fruit, having a little bit of carbs, okay? And it doesn't have to be a lot. It could be something as simple as a chia pudding. If you like cereal, make sure it's healthy with almond milk, a little bit of berries on top. Don't fill yourself up. Just give yourself fuel to get on with your day. So remember, there's got to be protein in there, because that gives you the amino acids to help your brain function. Absolutely important. Okay? No low sugar. Okay? Sugar is just going to spike your insulin. It's going to spike your adrenals again. It's going to offset things and create more imbalance. Try not to have coffee first thing in the morning. Even though it's become a habit, you think you can't start your day without coffee. That's not true. You lived many years without coffee and you started your day, right? So if you really want to start your day with a clear head without being panicked, don't have coffee first thing. If you need to have coffee, eat first and then have your coffee. Okay? And then I would, of course, shower, get dressed, and then I would make sure that I had everything set out for the day. So I would do that the night before, actually, because your morning actually starts the night before. And I would just write down things I wanted to achieve that day. And it doesn't have to be a huge list. If you're going back to work, you probably do that already. But if you're not working, just like anything that you feel you want to achieve, write it down. Okay? It's not enough to keep it in your head, because when you're in panic and heartbreak and the world is like crazy, you're not going to remember. And then you're going to end your day thinking, oh, I really wanted to get that thing done today. And then you're going to start a cycle of feeling badly about yourself. And that reinforces that sense of, I didn't accomplish anything. I, I'm, I have low self-worth. All of those things get triggered when you set yourself up for failure. So I want you to set yourself up for success. Okay? Start the night before, write down what you want to achieve the next day, have it there on your desk, on your table, on your counter, and then start your day. So the most important takeaway from this talk is, in order for you to start your day successfully, you have to have a routine, a good practice, and you have to look after yourself first, okay, before any electronics. So now let's look at the bigger picture, the 3-month picture. So what are your goals? What are your personal love goals? That's part of your list. Okay, that's an exercise I want you to do today. Today is September. It's the beginning, first day of the last quarter of the year. So write down what you want to achieve. Is it to finally divorce your husband? Is it to finally um, uh, find a partner, a new partner? Is it to finally just feel good about yourself? Is it to get your finances on track? Whatever it is, you have 3 months to do it, and you can do it in these 3 months. I promise you can. If you stick to your goals, stick to a routine, and remind yourself that every minute of your life you have control over. And you can choose how you want to live every minute of your life, every hour of your life, every day of your life. You get to choose. Nobody else. You're in the power seat. You're in the power position. You're the driver. You choose. Doesn't matter who's trying to navigate from behind, from the back seat. You have to ignore all that. Ignore the person beside you who keeps telling you you don't know how to drive properly. Okay? You're in the driver's seat. You're in command of your life. So I want you to remember the talk I said about at the beginning with Dr. Dr. Philip Zemus, my dentist, who is wise beyond lifetimes on so many levels. And we talked about, what does it mean to, you know, have control over your life? What does it mean to navigate your life? What does it mean to move forward in this landscape, trying to, block all the rhetoric and the garbage that's all around us, and try not to see the negative? How do you move forward with positivity when everything's falling apart? Remember, you have choice. You have the choice to decide whether you're going to remain in heartbreak or whether you're going to shift out of heartbreak and start living purposefully. And I always use this analogy. Our life is like a game. I love basketball. So it's like a basketball game, right? If you're not on the court playing, you're not living your life. You can have timeouts for sure, absolutely, and watch, but you cannot have timeouts forever. And you can't be sitting in the spectator seat. You have to live your life on the court. You have to be in the game. So jump into your life for these last 3 months. If you don't have good practices at night and in the morning and a good routine, just institute similar practices. Make sure you set yourself up for success every single day and every single week and every single month. Have your goals set up the night before, write them down. What do you want to achieve today? You can even, if you're super organized and forward thinking, what do I want to achieve this month? Do I want to start seeing movies again? Do I want to visit more girlfriends? Do I want to reach out and have more social time? That's a great goal. Do I want to do more exploring within my city? Do I want to, experience something new? Everywhere you live, there's opportunities to do new things and to make new friends, and that's your opportunity too. So have your goal, start with the daily goals, go on to week goals, go on to month goals, and then what is your big goal for this last quarter? I want to hear all about your big goals. Let me know in the comments below, okay? What are your love goals for the rest of this quarter? This is September 1st. Tell me. I'm going to hold you accountable. That's the beauty of what coaching is. Your uh, there have been a lot of studies with goal setting, and if someone doesn't hold you accountable, if you don't have somebody to hold you accountable and check in on you, your chances of achieving that goal diminishes by, I don't know, 70%. Okay, so let me know what your goals are for the remainder of this quarter. And remember, you have the choice to live every day from the point of view of a sad adult, knowing that everything sucks, or you can approach it from the point of view of, wow, look at all this experience I have. Look at all the wisdom I have achieved and I've gained by experiencing all of these things in life. I now know that I've got so many options and so many choices. Okay, you choose how you want to do it. But in the meantime, let me know what your goals are in the comments below. All right, have a great day.